Hello. Trying something different today. It's so beautiful today, I couldn't resist coming out here. Although we only have 4 hours of sunlight, so I had to jam and get myself out here before it was gone. But want to see the view? Sorry, I know that was a weird view, but I'm sitting down. I have some notes here because I have something to talk about and it might be kind of lengthy. So I wrote some things down and I'm using a selfie stick. But the selfie stick is too heavy for me to hold, so I'm having technical issues. Anyway, I've been thinking about this issue for a while, and it's come together into a subject matter of basically the internet. The internet. So, the internet is the inter meaning inner, inside, within, internal, net meaning network. Networks are our internal network of private human intimacies, meaning all of our hopes, dreams, fears, worries, expectations, our beliefs, everything is there. Okay? The internet has taken the place of books, TV, radio, theater, and now with coronavirus they've taken it a step further and it's taken the place of school, court, library, and all social gatherings, pretty much your life. And it's all pre-recorded for your convenience. Now, the pre-recorded part is really what the whole thought process was all about, because I'm coming to you from the past, right? This is the past. You're watching this now, and this video was recorded in the past. All right? So no matter what you're watching and no matter what you're doing on the internet, it's from the past. If you're not face to face with a living, breathing, flesh human being, then you're dealing with the past. So this interweb is an amalgam of the world's social, private, municipal, and consumer life. There isn't anything that the internet doesn't know, and there isn't anything. The internet is basically all knowing. It's all knowing, it's all present, it's everywhere. Okay? So we consume the internet, because it's all we have, really. We used to have television and we used to have community and church and all this, but now we just have the internet. So we're consuming the internet, and we spend our time offering ourselves to the internet, sort of as an audience. And so I ask, who's really consuming who? When we're giving ourselves, we're giving our time, we're giving our attention and our focus and our hopes and we're giving everything to the internet, which is a piece of technology. It's not even a living creature. It's not even a living being. It's an algorithm. We're giving our love to that. Okay, so who's really consuming who? So the technology seeks to control every tender aspect of human life, including our thought, our thought life, our beliefs, our emotional life, our feelings, our decisions, and our spiritual life, even what we believe in and what we don't believe in, and also our physical life. Because when we spend too much time on the internet, we neglect our physical reality quite a lot. Okay, of course, the internet is the most important and interesting thing of our modern day. We've never been able to completely connect the way that we can right now in our own epoch. I believe personally that the internet is probably something that is mimicking a natural phenomenon that all people are connected because we are. And I even go as far, which is going to sound out there, but I think that the TV, the television that's telling you a vision, began as an actual device that was kind of like a magic box, and there was an actual ancestor inside of that magic box who was alive but in the astral world, but that you could perceive here on earth through this box. And that box would guide you and would offer you information, it would offer you advice, whatever it was, maybe directives, maybe, and maybe everyone had their own box with their own ancestor, or maybe there was like, an authoritative figure inside that box. I don't think television is a new phenomenon. I do believe that it is ancient technology. But at any rate, in our day and age, we don't have a magic box, and we really don't communicate with ancestors the way that we should, and we don't communicate with our predecessors. So we're communicating with principalities here. We're communicating with beings who are unseen to us, and who are seeking absolute control of every single little detail of our existence, from head to toe, including who we decide to love, how we decide to live, where we decide to live. It's all orchestrated, and it's all formulated and managed by people that we can't see. And I can tell you that these people are not our friends. Now, that doesn't mean that we throw away the internet, because of course it's the most important thing that we have. I can't live without the internet. Personally, I enjoy watching myself on the internet the most. That's my biggest hobby, because it's free and it's fun. But yeah, I'm not suggesting that we do away with the internet by any means. I'm just suggesting that we have a more realistic approach and a more realistic relationship with the technology, including the radio and the television as well, and anything that's pre-recorded, including books, because I know from experience that people give too much credit to books, and books are dead. Okay, books are words on a paper. Yes, they can ignite passion in you, and they can ignite memory in you, and they can spark things inside of yourself. But the book itself, the written word, is dead. It's from the past. Okay, there's no living, breathing being there. Just pick up a book and look inside. You'll see it's a dead object. It doesn't have life of its own. So it's not really offering you anything. And what we're doing in our society is we're worshiping the past, and we're giving credit, and we're giving too much power to the past, so that the power that we're giving is taken away from the present moment, and also from the future generations who need to have some governance of their own, and not just be governed by the past, which is, taken way too far these days. Not to say that humanity weren't governed by ancestors in the past. I believe that we were governed by ascended masters and spiritual beings, and we still are. In the most honorable sense of the word, that's the highest form of governance by the past. But we all know that in today's world, with the technology and with who's ruling it, we all know Bill Gates is not honorable. Okay, Bill Gates doesn't have your best interest at heart, and neither do any of the individuals who are cultivating a society that is based solely and strictly on the internet. Okay, so yeah, this is the past. I'm in the past. Woo, this is the past. Yeah, wow, it's beautiful in the past. Actually, it looks just like the past, because the past is all we're seeming, in my opinion, and I know this is going to sound nihilistic, but I do think that we are moving towards the past. I don't think we're moving towards a future, because everything seems to be regurgitated and we're being controlled. Our movements, our opinions. I can't tell you how heavily my person has been influenced throughout the years to make decisions based on under the influence of the internet, and under the influence of the past, the TV and the radio. And had I really had some courage and understanding that I have the authority, I'm alive, I'm in the present moment, I don't have to give my power away to the past, then I would have made completely different choices. And this mountain that I'm sitting on will probably be mine. I probably would own this mountain. That's how different it would have been. So I'm just saying all of these things so that we can take our power as living, breathing human beings. We are in the present moment. As I'm watching this, I'm in the present. You're in the present moment. You're watching this. You're living, breathing. You're not a machine watching a human being. No. By the time this this is recorded, it's already the past. Even if it was a half a second ago, it's the past. Okay? So technically, I don't exist. I don't exist. I'm inside of this box. I'm inside of this rectangle, the square, right? And I do not exist. Nothing that comes out of this square really technically exists. It only exists in the ethereal realm, or say in the demonic realm. Because like I was trying to say, I wish I could hold this thing right, but like I was trying to say in my earlier video about demons, if anybody wants to go back and reflect, demons are a place, okay? So there's a demon for a pre-recorded, there's good, you know, are all demons good? No. Are all demons bad? No. Demons are not good or bad. Demons are an instrument whereby we can record our feelings, where we can record our impressions, where we can record things to offer up to the future. So what you're seeing here is a demon as I'm communicating with you. But I'm just going to call myself an angel because we're in America and we don't say demon for something good. So what you're seeing here is an angelic presence from the past, okay? And that's something that we have to reconcile, okay? I don't have authority over your life unless you give it to me. Authority is something that should be invited, okay? You know, like I have a clog in my drain. Oh man, I don't know anything about plumbing. I need somebody who's authoritative on the subject matter to get over here and help me with this clog. So when the plumber arrives, you've invited that plumber, and you're going to give that plumber authority over your mind and your thought process for a moment, because that plumber has authority on the subject matter. Okay? So if you're an adult, you should give no one authority over your life unless they know more than you do about something. And that goes for spirituality as well. For us to willy-nilly give any authority to a television or an internet or a song on the radio or anything like that, that's crazy. It's crazy and it's demonic. And these demons are getting aggressive. They want more power. They want more control because they're used as instruments and as weapons. The whole system has been weaponized. It's been weaponized against freedom, so that mankind can express its highest form of freedom, which is free will. Actual free will means no one can tell you anything. We all have rules that we agree to, and those rules are very simple and very basic, and they are the rules that govern heaven as well. And those rules cannot be negotiated. And there's not 62 million of them, okay? Do you know that in the United States there are 64 million laws? 64 million laws, okay? Can you remember 64 million of anything? Can anybody remember that? No, because it's designed to destroy your freedom and to take your freedom from you, and to create a schism in your mind where you're fragmented and broken against yourself, because it's confusing, and it's meant to confuse you. It's meant to traumatize you and to shatter you. That's what it's all about. So when you watch the internet, watch it with a grain of salt. When you watch TV, watch it with an analytical mind, especially if you're watching something that has a large budget behind it, like Netflix or Hulu, or even a lot of the YouTube, content makers who have a large budget behind them. Always take it with a grain of salt. And you have the authority. You have the authority. And when I watch this video later, I know that I have the authority. I'm not going to just let myself push myself around, because I know that I can educate this, whatever it is. I don't know who's inside. I don't know who's back up in there, but it's an angel. It's some kind of presence from the past, from the astral plane that's coming through the screen. And it's not to be thrown away, I don't think. And it's not to be demonized. I'm just going to use our American terms. It's not to be, trashed. I'm not trying to trash things that are good that are coming through the internet. The internet has taught me everything it knows. I have learned everything. I know everything. And there's very few things that I don't know about this world today, and it's because of the internet. And I give the internet all the credit, and I appreciate it, and I'm so grateful to the ancestors who have led me, and to the ascended masters, to the beings who led me to the knowledge, okay? And that's why I make content. Well, I'm making little videos like this. I can't do much because I'm electrosensitive, but I can tell you as an electrosensitive person that the frequencies that are used, and I do all these videos offline, and I do them in a negative exposure. So I'm not even seeing my image. I'm seeing like a negative version of my image. I can tell you as an electrosensitive person that these frequencies and these devices and the radiation that they emit is like a vacuum. It's not offering you anything. Okay, the hardware itself is a vacuum. It sucks your energy. That's why if you sit down, or even if you're standing up, or even if you're in a mood and then you grab your phone and you watch a video, your mood is gonna change. You're gonna feel different. You might feel tired. You might feel burnt or a little bit less motivated, or you might feel more motivated if you're lucky. But there is a relationship between this device and your physiology, as well as your psychology, as well as your spirituality. And the spiritual part is really what I'm trying to touch on, because I get the feeling that people are kind of like, going with whatever, impulses they get from the radio or from the TV. And this was before, coronavirus, but I was delivering food, and I remember just everywhere I went, it didn't matter where it was, there was always a radio playing. You could not go inside of any establishment where there wasn't a radio playing, whether it was poor establishment or rich establishment, doesn't matter. It just always was a radio playing. You're walking through a mall, an outside mall, an inside mall, it doesn't matter. There's music playing, okay? And that is delivering commands and messages to your brain directly, okay? You can analyze things that are being said to you, or that are, trying to influence you. But it's hard for you to respond to things that you don't even know, that you're not even aware of. And I promise you, anything that has a lot of money behind it has a lot of messaging in there for your brain and for your soul and for your spirit. So just put your guard up. That's my advice, is just to be aware that it's, most things that have a big budget. I don't have a budget, by the way. I don't have an agenda. My agenda and my motivation for doing this is to try to add a different spin to the whole thing. I'm not worshiping the internet like most people do. I'm not trying to control anybody. What I'm trying to do is set people free. That's my motivation. My motivation is freedom, absolute freedom from demonic forces. Because although the demonic forces can be benevolent and helpful, at this time we need to be able to discern, whether we're under demonic control or not. And we need to be able to decide if it's good for us and to go from there. All of these things are important. So I'm just dragging all of this out. It's a lot. I think about it all the time, because I know personally I'm surrounded by males. And the men, I'm surrounded by males. I can't hardly get a female around me to save my life. And these males are very plugged into the matrix, and to the commands and the demands and the way the matrix sees things, and how, it expects us to live in these really square, angular, sharp kinds of ways. And there's a lot of expectations on me that are just simply unreasonable. So I know a lot about it. Okay, so let's see if there's anything else that I didn't say. Yeah, I pretty much said everything that I wanted to say on here. Hi. Yeah, anything that's pre-recorded is the past, including books. So we need to give proper attention and proper understanding to things that have already occurred. And although I know that it's fun to be a part of something bigger than yourself, and it's fun to sort of live inside of this mosaic of activity happening, and we get connected to that when we watch the internet, and it's so fun, and it's like, we get amused by that, and some of you are getting flattered by it. I used to get flattered by it. Now I just get insulted, which is why I'm complaining, because I wouldn't be complaining if I was still getting flattered with it. So, it goes from flattery to insult. And that's just how demons work. All demons have a price. They all have a price. And the demons the demons that I worship, or that I follow, or that I respect, are beings of light and beings of love. And they demand something too. And what they demand is to live according to the highest level of righteousness that you can attain. So that means sobriety. That means like taking care of yourself and loving yourself to the utmost. Those are the beings that I feed. Those are the demons and the angels. I feel weird saying demons, but they are demons. Angels and demons are not. I don't really know the difference, except for that in the West, we call the good ones angels and we call the bad ones demons. But as far as I'm concerned, they all add up to a place where in the astral world that's above our own world, where heaven meets with earth and everything that's going on earth. We have our self, our astral self that is up there, and we have our physical self that is down here, and then we have our spiritual self, which is what I would call the angelic self that's up in heaven, and there's only one of us up there. So that's how I see that the different worlds very vaguely summarized. There are different dimensions to heaven and earth. But as dealing with the technology, all of that stuff is coming from the past. All of it's coming from a different realm, and we do need to give proper we need to have proper understanding as to what it is that we're dealing with in our society, because it's like a it's like a dun 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 dun. It's a rhythm, right? Because everything happens on rhythm and on timing. It's all about rhythm and timing. If your rhythm is perfect and if your timing is perfect, your life will be splendid. If your rhythm is off, and that's why I'm saying that it's weaponized, because there's a lot of sabotage in the game where they're trying to throw some people's rhythm off. Because if you trip, then your rhythm is messed up and now you got to start over. So I don't really know I can't offer any advice about what to do other than just try to maintain the most pristine level of health and sanity that you can. Try to have a sober and a very analytical mind in this economy, because it's going to get worse. When 5G is rolled out in America, we are going to be monitored more closely than ever. And the things that you're going to be watching is going to be yourself. You're going to be watching yourself, and you're not going to recognize that it's yourself, because they're going to have more knowledge about you than you have about yourself. So it's going to be a mashup between the past and the future, because they're also be able to achieve some kinds of prophecy, seeing into the future a little bit, maybe a day or so. So there's a lot of things going on, and I would say, just keep your spirit connected to the one true God, which is the avatar, the archetype, the human archetype, the holy God, the heavenly Father up in heaven. Stay connected with that. The mother goddess, the holy mother goddess in heaven. I consider the goddess the earthly mother. Now I'm just realizing that heavenly Father is a great term, so I like heavenly Father and earthly mother. But try to keep ourselves as clean as possible from the dirty electricity of the internet and of all of the devices that go along with the internet, and all of the the programming, okay? Because it's so much. It really is. And we're not fully aware of what it's doing to us at this time. So I love you. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and Merry Christmas.